Welcome back. We are back at it again at the workbench, and today we got another awesome space marine to paint up in his very dynamic pose. This named space marine is after one of our awesome followers on Twitch. Our new Twitch follower today is Etriedes, one of the biggest followers we've actually gained. So again, you guys should go check out Etriedes. He's an awesome dude with an awesome community with just plenty of lovely people. So go check him out. Links in the description below. So because this is Etriedes, we decided to give our brand new Space Marine here a banner, a plasma pistol, and a knife because, well, he loves the movie Dune. That's what I got so far, so yes, the House of Etriedes must go into battle with the blade. Before we start anything, the first thing we gotta do is actually prime this bad boy, and the primer we're gonna be using is the Vallejo Surface Primer. Been using this for all of my miniatures. It's super good, super great. Honestly, would recommend it. Once we got our airbrush and have everything we need to start painting, we're going to need one more thing. Sadly, I was doing some spring cleaning earlier, and, well, I threw away the airbrush box from earlier, so we're going to use this Bandai box here for now, just to make sure we don't get all of this paint all over the place. I want to keep this place a little bit tidy. Like always, I like to sprinkle in a little bit of lore, a little bit of background, a little bit of story when it comes down to painting up these miniatures. So here's a bit lore for you guys. Hey, you! I just wanted to stop by real quick and just wanted to mention that this is going to be a little bit of a spoiler for Space Marine 2. So for those of you guys who have not played it yet, I strongly recommend that you do. But for those of you guys who haven't, skip this part. Playing Space Marine 2's opening campaign level, you're embarked into this level as a Deathwatch Space Marine. You're probably wondering, well, who is Deathwatch and what is this shiny little shoulder pad I have? And to that I say, you can probably find a lot of YouTubers who've already covered the whole lore, background, and how the organization started, but again, I'm sprinkling in a little bit of lore, and I don't want to take up the entire time doing this, so. To sum up the Deathwatch, it's basically another branch of the Inquisition that specializes in taking care of Xenos, aliens, those creepy little green men that bump in the night and for some reason like to abduct cows for unknown reasons. But these Deathwatch members hail from multiple chapters of Space Marines. Some of them hail from, well, those you very much know, from Blood Angels to Ultramarines to Salamanders to, well, other ones. Now that we have a couple brushes picked out and ready to go, let's go ahead and begin some painting. The new guy looks so cool, I kind of want to leave him as he is. But we are Ultramarines and we must go with our chapter colors. To start everything off, we're going to use some cracked blue for the base of the armor. Like to start things off at the leg armor, then work my way up from there. Here's some more lore for you guys. Like I mentioned, the Deathwatch likes to recruit Space Marines from multiple different chapters, even chapters who have betrayed the Imperium a long time ago. These particular Space Marines are called Black Shields. For these Astartes, they have chose to abandon any markings or symbols leading them back to their original chapter. By doing this, they have disassociated themselves from their chapter, from their previous actions, and from their previous deeds. For them, this is a whole new beginning. Our boy Lieutenant Titus, once known as Captain Titus of the Ultramarines, once was a Black Shield until he was reintegrated into the Ultramarines by the same man who dishonored him, in my opinion.
One kiss is all it takes.
Once we painted the armor with Macragge Blue, we're going to move on to the backpack next. Looking really good so far. Since we have the Macragge Blue still out, we're going to go ahead and paint one section of the banner of Macragge Blue. Once we're done with Macragge Blue, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Corax White for the banner right here. And we're going to be using Corax White for other segment of the armor as well. There's a lot of details to start with this banner, but we're going to start with a piece of parchment right here. Then work our way up. Make sure to paint both sides. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the mohawk, or should I say the top of Spartan's helmets. Huh, they called it the plume. We're going to paint the plume here, Corax White, then we're going to transition to a different color in a second. And of course, being part of my Ultramarines, all of our magazine types are slightly labeled. White meaning standard, and red meaning high velocity fuck you rounds. For our dear boy Etriedes here, he's going to be rocking some standard magazine pouches. Looking really good so far. Right now we're going to transition over to a shade to color the parchment and give the banner a little bit of a worn look. And the shade we're going to be using is Adrag Earth Shade. And we're going to be painting over the parchment and a little bit over the banner, not on the white side, but more on the blue side. Once we're done using the shade and doing a quick inspection, looking really good, we're going to go ahead and transition over to Runefang Steel for all of the steely parts of the model, which is the power cables, the antenna, and of course the gun. And of course, we cannot forget about the trusty blade of Etriedes. He goes into battle with it everywhere.
Yes, brother.
While we still have Runefang steel out, we're going to start painting up some of the power ports on the backpack, just to give it a little bit more detail. Soon here, we're going to be transitioning over to another color. Can't forget the details on the gun itself. Next, we're going to paint the banner staff itself silver. Gotta make sure to paint both sides here. I'm getting really close to my final vision here. Next, we're going to transition over to Retribuner Armor for the details for the head of the plume and for the banner itself. One of the main details we're going to be painting up is the skull itself that's part of the banner. Whenever I'm working with metallic colors, I always like to thin them down a little bit, making sure that I don't have a giant metallic clump on my models, and not to cover up a lot of the details as well. Once we're done with the chapter banner, we're going to go ahead and move on to some more details, like on the belt. Going back to the backpack here, we're also going to paint up the exhaust ports. And of course, can't forget about those little power studs on the right shoulder. We're going to give each of them a little dollop of gold, and if we overdo it, that's okay. Happy little accidents. We can always go over it with Crag Blue in a later moment.
Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
Gonna paint up a little gold here on the hilt of the knife. Looking really good. Next, we're gonna go ahead and change colors here to Mephiston Red, and we're gonna paint the eyes and a little bit of a zebra stripe for the plume here as well. As you guys can already tell, I kind of gave him that veteran sergeant kind of look from Space Marine 2. Once we're done with the top of the helmet, now for my both favorite and most scary part of this process is the eyes, which I'm not gonna lie, I love and hate this part at the same time. And of course, once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and touch up a little bit here and there. And voila! I think the only thing we're missing now is the plasma pistol. Cracking out some Tesseract glow, we're going to go ahead and start using it for the main part of the plasma gun, which is the glowy part. Once we're done painting up the plasma pistol, we're going to go ahead and move over to some micro sole and micro set for these water slide decals. We're going to go ahead and get hit the chapter symbols set and ready. I'm going to start with the banner first, then work my way around to the shoulder pad. Once we're done using micro set, we're going to go ahead and move over to some micro sole. Basically what this does is that it turns the decal we just placed on to form perfectly well to the miniature, and so far it came out really well. And like that, Space Marine Etriedes is ready for the field of battle, ready to lead others to victory and his house. If I didn't mention this earlier, you guys should go check out Etriedes' Twitch channel. He has a bunch of awesome and wonderful people in his community, and his streams are just fantastic, chill, and fun. So, go give him a follow.
Forward to victory.
And just like that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video just as much as I enjoyed painting this guy up. Hey, and like I mentioned, go give Etriedes a big old follow, and tell him that Neo sent you. And as always, until next time, hobbyist, have fun, stay alive, stay safe, and until then, bye-bye.